Hello Math 2. This is video 3 in your Pacman for Polys video series. And in this video we're going to explore what we do when we are adding polynomials. And you'll notice the rules say when you add, you do nothing to the exponents. Be careful. It's so tempting to want to add them, but we don't. Let's look at the steps. When we're adding polynomials, we want to add and subtract the coefficients only, and of like terms only. So what does that look like? Well, first we have to identify the like terms. So a like term here would be something with a variable a squared. And I look at that and it has a variable of a squared, but it also has a variable of b squared. So I can't add these two terms. They're not like terms. But if I notice this term has only an a squared as a variable. So these two terms are like terms and they can be combined. So when I add them, I add or subtract only the coefficients. The coefficient here is 6. The coefficient here is -7. So that gives me a -1 for a coefficient. And my variable stays the same. Keep the variable and the exponent. So I've successfully taken care of these two terms. Let's see if there are any more like terms in this expression. I'm looking for something with only a b squared for a variable. And I notice that this term is a like term. So I'm going to add the coefficients, keep the variable, and keep the exponent. So this becomes 3 minus 3, which is 0 b squared. Notice I kept the variable and I kept the exponent. Now, what I also observe about this is 0 times anything becomes 0. So eventually this term is going to go away. And then I take a look at this guy right here, and he has no like terms. I don't see any other term in this expression that has both an a squared times a b squared. So there's nothing to be done with him but continue him on in the problem. And then I need to rewrite the expression without 0b squared. So this becomes -a squared. Remember, I don't have to write that 1. Minus 2a squared b squared. And this would be the answer to this problem. Let's look at one more example. And before I do anything, I'm going to this is just the number of the problem. It's not 2.3. Before I do anything, I'm going to identify my like terms. And what I notice is 3 and 7 are constant terms with no variable. So I'm going to combine those. I also notice that I have -4m squared plus 5m squared and plus m squared. This guy does not have an exponent of 2, so I can't combine him. He is a different term. He's not a like term with these other three. So what I find helpful is if I put a different shape around my like terms. Circles around my constant term, a triangle around my m to the first term, and rectangles around my m squared terms. And then I just combine the shapes. 3 plus 7 is 10. -4m squared plus 5m squared. Keep in mind I'm adding the coefficients, so -4 plus 5 is 1. Plus another 1 is 2. So I've taken care of my circles and my rectangles, and this triangle doesn't have anything to combine, so this is where I end up. Now, this is a correct answer, but it's customary to write my answer in descending exponent order. So I'm going to write 2m squared first, minus m, plus 10. And this is a beautiful answer for example number 2.